Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the first streamed race for our Xbox Championship. We didn't manage so far up until right now how to stream on Xbox race for and actually it's better if I don't explain how it works because it's sort of a hack, but we are getting it there. So I'm used to stream the PC races, which obviously have a few aids for telemetry and fastest laps and things like that, and also to jump from one player to another faster. Let's see how it goes today. But I'm actually quite excited about the bunch of players that we have on the Xbox competition. So I think it's very fair to them that we try to start streaming when possible, and also you will see the quality of the racing in here. Some people think that the best drivers are on PC, but trust me if I tell you that we have very fast drivers here that would be on the top 10 or top 5 even of our PC championship. So once again, very excited. We are here today on Zolder, round 7 of Slipstream International World Series on Xbox. Right now we are with 30 minutes left of qualifying, and we're gonna see how things turn out today. So after a couple of minutes we'll start seeing guys putting some laps in, and we'll start figuring out who are the fastest in here, which I try to remember from previous every week we need to put in the results in SimGrid. I know who are gonna be on top, but there are a few new drivers this week that I actually don't know how they're gonna turn out. So I've been looking at the practice session before, not paying a lot of attention also because I was trying to get this thing sorted out. But yeah, I think Lewis Hamilton joined us. I don't know if it was already for last week or already just this week. And I think also Grey Dutch is new. So let's see how they do. I don't know about Salient. I don't remember seeing his name recently. And Sepa87, who was the fastest on practice. I also don't remember his gamer tag. But yeah, we have 17 guys here today, and I don't know if there will be anyone joining us for the race only, but yeah, let's see how that turns out. We are now looking at Rad M Relish 86. Judging by that, he's just 1 year older than me, and he's about to close the first lap. I think this is already a time lap, if I'm not mistaken, because it's been already 4 minutes. So let's see how he does. That's been a 1:30, not too bad for a first lap. I think I would expect the pole position to be somewhere around 128, high 128s. So he stops in the middle of the race. We go for the next one. That's number 66, is about to cross, and he marks a 130.5. No, 131.3. Then the next one's crossing 614 and 75, which they didn't mark a valid lap. Next one is 12. This is one of the best drivers we have here on the grid, and he managed the fastest lap already, a 129.4. That's actually not bad at all. I think with that lap he's gonna be for sure in the top 5. Then Martin, Specialist, and Wi-Fi already, I hope that's how you say it. Gonna treat you well, Wi-Fi. You have the only Ferrari here besides me, so hope you do well, mate. All of those times about 130. I think the next one going through, yes, number 69, Dick Trickle. I'm gonna check if Dick is actually already on his live stream. Let's go in here. We are actually looking at chat right now, and I'm going to check on, yeah, there we go. Dick is as well streaming, so let's hear him out.
There's a slow car ahead.
That's a good engine noise, huh? So there he is. He's currently doing 133s. His predicted lap, if he nails it, is gonna be 132. He's still halfway the lap, and we are gonna tap now into Rad Relish. Let's hear him out. And that's an out lap, I guess, because it's 2:15. So let's see if he manages to improve his 1:30, which I don't think is going to be good enough to be second. Now let's move on to Chad. His car makes less noise. It's much more pure, the Porsche. That was not enough speed out of the corner, so I don't think this is going to be a great lap. But let's go, Chad. We need to set a valid lap. There's only 8 minutes left. That was not maximized. I hope he's not listening to me, because otherwise he's gonna get annoyed by... Ooh, tricky place to move out. And he has a lot of time on that corner as well.
Yellow flag is activated.
Question is whether the guy ahead of him is on valid lap or not, and he's quitting. Oof, 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 oof. All right, good enough. Let's go back to the main view. So we have Sepa still. No, not still. You see, he managed to get on first with 129.275. And still Jacob, I'm gonna call you Jacob, man. I think you're from Czech Republic, so I know that must be your last name, but I'm not gonna attempt to say it, otherwise you're gonna hate me. So these two guys are seemingly gonna fight for first and second. I'm very curious about Elite Gassi. He's the winner of the last race, and he's still not managed to put through a valid lap so far. And now, because my dear woman is asking me to go to the kitchen to put something in the oven, I'm gonna step out for 2 minutes and I will be back. Alright, and we are back, and things didn't dramatically change. We still have Sepa first, and he just managed that 128 I was talking to you guys about. I think, I'm gonna check it out, but I think the pole position on PC was around that time. Just 1 minute. So for you that maybe are watching us for the first time and you are not familiar with how we ran this race, with this league, we ran on times that are suitable for pretty much everywhere in the world. And I'm located in Europe, and this morning at 9 a.m. Central European time, we raced the PC Championship, which is on the afternoon of Australia and suitable for being the morning for Europe. And we still have some American drivers that joins us from time to time. I mean, from time to time, actually, frequently. And then in the evening for me, which is 9 p.m., so 12 hours later, we have the Xbox Championship, and it's a great time for Europe and viable as well for Australia, but I think we don't have many drivers from there on Xbox, and also suitable for the US. So, as I was saying, there are 3 minutes left, and the pole position on PC was 1.28.2. So, going back to here, they are half second away from that, but I mean, obviously, that's a very good driver that we have in there. The top 5 drivers were under 128.7 on PC. And here we have Seppa, and then there is a big distance to Jakub, and then Elite. Cassie is not disappointing me, I'm not that mean, but he managed now 129.7, which to be honest is probably better what I would do, or right around what I would do, so I'm not gonna demand more from it. Wi-Fi, my dear Ferrari colleague, is doing 6 as of now. And Chad, did you manage a lap? Yeah, there you go. You managed the lap, and you are right now behind Peseta, the other weird choice here with a Lamborghini. I say weird choice because having a Lexus like specialist or a Lamborghini nowadays, they are statistically worse cars than the others, at least with the current BOP. But anyway, there are 2 minutes left, and right now we have the number 333 Seppa about to finish another lap. We don't know if he's improving, and I think by the pace of it, probably this is his last attempt, and the last lap was not valid. Yeah, I think I was right about that. Then we have driver 44, Lewis Hamilton, putting his first lap. Valid lap? No, not valid. And 137 specialist. I don't know if blue, I cannot see when I'm talking. Light blue is valid lap, I think. And number 79 Peseta, is this gonna be a valid lap or not? Ooh, we have 2 flags. Number 240 silent, crashed and went straight to pits. So is it gonna be a good lap for Peseta? I don't know. I don't think that was a valid lap. So it might be meaning something else. It's been a while I don't look at it like this. Chad goes back to the pits, and Jacob is gonna attempt his last lap right now. In this one he did not improve, and we're gonna see if he manages to take over the pole position, although I think it's a bit too far. Now, who else is attempting one last time is number 333, Seppa, still giving it another go. Devilish Peanut. And number 7, Wi-Fi. Are any of them gonna improve? 333 doesn't improve. Wi-Fi, I don't know if it improved, but stays where it was, and Devilish Peanut as well. So, what this tells us, now that most of the drivers are done with their attempts, is that we're gonna have a very packed midfield between probably 4th, I think, and 9th. I think when you are on those numbers, the consistency is slightly worse. Ooh, Devilish Peanut missed it there. It's not gonna manage to close that lap. And I think Seppa is gonna easily win unless his consistency is bad, which we'll see. Truth to be told, like if someone fast here doesn't start from ahead, from up front, it's gonna have a hard time actually overtaking, because Zolder is not particularly a good track to overtake. It's very narrow. If you go out of the racing line on the chicanes, we are gonna suffer. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I hope drivers from 10th onwards have faster pace, otherwise they're gonna be lapped a few times. Well, I don't know if a few times, but 3 seconds out of 128, there are like, I think 36 laps, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the PC guys did 40 laps. 40 laps, 3 seconds per lap. Yeah, that's lapped once or twice just due to speed. And then leaving aside the potential effect of mistakes that you normally do when you are in the midfield. So let's see how it goes. Be right back in a minute. So here we have the drivers on the grid. I'm gonna try to listen to myself so I don't shout. And we have, I guess they are going on a driver's briefing, so let's unmute ourselves.
Be mindful of flags.
Question?
That's really any questions?
There's no such thing as a safety car in this type of race, right?
I'll get back to you.
Okay, and so no flags or anything.
Nope.
Perfect.
That'd be sweet though.
I thought it happened before, but
Never mind.
What?
No,
Yes.
that's clear.
Blue flags
I'm
are
not
gonna
so
be
keen
an
on
issue.
about incident
Yes.
you have to wait for somebody else. I'm not so keen on that. But maybe just me.
If it's your fault, you have to wait for the guy you hit.
Nah. Do they do that in real life? Just get a penalty, right? Yeah.
And on that penalty, that is your penalty for causing collision.
I can tell you that
But what's happened to the penalty system then?
Hey, listen to Raf.
if you read the rules, guys, it says very specifically, I think, that if you hit someone and you wait for them, you will get a lesser penalty than if you continue. That's pretty much it's the honor system, right? So if you just continue, you will get the full penalty, and if you wait for the person and you yield the full advantage, you will get something minimal depending on the context of where it happened. and how it happened.
Okay, I can live with that.
And then blue flags, guys. If
Take
you've
it.
got blue flags, pull, like, either
Um,
stay on the racing line and let them go around you.
Oh yeah, and if you get crashed, press your
Make
brakes,
room.
please.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
please do that. Yeah.
Press the brakes.
Can
That's a
I
great
can I make a
bag.
point on can I make a point on blue flags?
Not in a corner.
Go on,
Yeah,
Dick.
yeah, go ahead.
This is not F1. You do not have to pull over. You do not have to panic if you're a blue flag.
Yeah.
No,
Stay
wait
on your
until the
line.
corners.
Stay on your line. Keep running your race on a straight. Just let off and let the blue flag behind you. Let the car behind you go. But do not panic and just start getting all crazy because I see so many incidents in
And
blue
the same
flags.
like the guys who are behind the blue flags, don't push them in the corners. Wait till the straight overtake.
Yeah, and don't break in the middle of the corner.
People see flashing lights behind them and they just panic like they just.
Yeah, Cassie.
If it were up to me, if it were up to me, I would totally ban the flashlight. So.
Yeah.
The flashing
Oh,
the
it's
flashing
night
lights make
mode, so
instant brain
makes
boil.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
This is
Man,
not
and it's
F1.
night day as well, so
Yeah, I
You are
know.
not, you are
It's
not
my
required to
playground.
immediately move.
Jeez.
I'm not gonna flash too much.
Okay, but anything else, guys? Any other concerns that you want to address or anything like that?
we got it.
Hope on a clean race.
Yeah, everybody, best of luck. Make sure you got your setup ready to go, and yeah, remember to save replays. Thanks,
Good
guys.
luck, guys. I go mute
Thank
again.
you.
Cheers.
Yeah. Have a good.
Good bunch. Thank you, Chad. Good leader for this championship. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. As we were saying, it's very likely that there will be lap cars. So there were in Zolder specifically, which is a very tight race, as I was saying before. Very tight track, sorry. It's important that the guidelines are clear. And I think earlier in the season, we had, I think on race 2 or race 3, there was a lot of noise, both in PC and Xbox, regarding what exactly a blue flag means on GT3. And what Chad said is exactly right. And I think that's the conclusion we got. Or was it? No, it was not Chad, it was Dick. Is that you don't really have to yield in any point. Not in any point. In whatever place the guy coming from behind got onto you. They need to be able to overtake you. If they are that much faster, that's the reason why they are, blue flagging you. But you don't really need to go out of the track to let them pass. There is obviously a gentleman code in there. 30 seconds to start. But really, it's not the same. So it's not the same as the Formula One, as Dick exactly said. So from that point of view, we just recommend to wait until you can do it safely. And unfortunately, if we see someone going out of their way to not let you pass, is a different story, and that we warn against, that we punish. But it doesn't mean you need to, again, go out of the track to let them pass and put in jeopardy your race. I remember in the PC stream this morning with Liam, I was explaining him that, or actually discussing with him rather than explaining him, because he knows it very well, that on our Slipstream International endurance team, one of the most annoying things that happens to me is that I'm also very wary of how fast other people are, and in my own I was struggling. In my own stints, most of the mistakes I have done are when I try to let pass someone that is lapping me, which is stupid, but it's what happens. I don't want to be reported for not letting pass and things like that, and at the end you end up being screwed up because of that reason. So yeah, need to be smart about that. Anyway, I realized that in this view we are actually not able to see the full map. So let's see if I actually can change this before. Radar needs to be, no, where was this? There was like circuit map full, exactly. Very good. And video, can we remove the dirty effect? This is useless. Very good, okay. Back here, and ooh, there's a someone spawned there. The race is still not on, but they are now mandated. No, they're not mandated to get into double lane yet, but someone somehow spawned there. Yeah, there we go, the full track, and I think this is the view we can keep. And hopefully I don't mess it up too much. Let's hide that view, but it will show up every time. All right. I don't understand if I'm with Jacob. Yeah, this works a bit weird. I don't know how to put the helicopter view though on Xbox. I've tried a few things, but it didn't really come through. But anyway, there they go. Gonna go through the last chicane. Already everyone formed up properly in the grid. And we are looking at Jacob, but I think I'm gonna go into the garage as soon as I can to see the differences between all of them. Lights are about to turn green. And here we go, green lights. Turn 1. From the point of view of Jacob, Elite took over. It's actually 2 tenths ahead. And from here we can see everything that's happening behind, and there has been a mess. There has been a mess. Yeah, we see struggles behind. Let's go back to the garage. Well, I need to change the camera first. Camera type, TV again. Yeah, there we go, garage. And let's check it out. Let's see when this starts to sort out. So we see a very intense fight between Railish and Martin. Jacob is ahead behind Elite Cassie. He managed to get first on the first turn. Third for Rad Railish, Martin following on fourth, Wi-Fi on fifth, and that means one of the pole position seater, Sepa, something happened to him, but I don't know what exactly. And now he's gonna have to go on a mission here, overtaking most of drivers. So we're gonna follow him because probably things on the front will not move a whole lot. And this part is going to ensure us quite a bit of fun. So I let you with the show.
Pit window is opening.
So he's already managed to get onto 9th position, so he's on the chase of specialists right now. And right behind, somehow, things are fairly organized. Let's go take a look at Cassie. He's 1.4 seconds ahead of Jacob. It's a healthy distance to break Slipstream. Then Jacob is followed by Relish by 2 seconds. Then Emma Martin. And then my dear yellow Ferrari? No. Is it yellow? No. I don't see it. Black? Black and yellow Ferrari. And then things are a bit more packed. I think Elliot is getting on the ass. Ooh, that was track limits for sure. And he's gonna attempt an overtake. We're gonna go into his camera. Let's see how that's going. But right behind them, there is Devilish Peanut, Specialist, and Sepa. So that's where all the fun is gonna be. But right after, they are still very close. Like Lewis Hamilton, Green Reaper, who normally finishes way higher, and Dick Trickle are all very close together. I think the grid breaks with Chad, which probably had some issue at the beginning of the race. Then Huerto, Peseta, Salient, and Grey Dutch are a bit more far away from each other. You can see on the mini-map on the bottom right that that's a substantial gap there. So Elliot still couldn't overtake Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi sounds like how Spanish people say Wi-Fi. It's exactly that. And right from behind, there is Sepa trying to overtake Devilish Peanut. He's on striking distance right now, and obviously with the difference of pace, I don't know right now what times they are doing, but it must be already in the 129s. Let's see if I don't screw up the cameras. And I can go into, yeah, no, okay, there we see. So he has done 130.6. And if I go into, well, Wi-Fi, he's doing 132s. And that's the 5th. Brad Relish is doing 131s, 130s, although invalid. And Martin, 131. Sorry. And then where Eli Tekasi is just marked the fastest lap with 130.147, but Jacob is right behind him. So he must actually be going faster. It's just probably it was not a valid lap. So let's see if we can get to Jacob. Okay, my controller is not working for some reason. Oh, there we go. Back in there, and we go to drive, and that's still Elite. I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, there we go. So he did manage at 1.30.6. So we are gonna continue with this fight. Let's see what turns out of it. All right, so since I've been away, Jacob actually managed to overtake Elite Cassie. And let's go to the general view to see how things are turning. Although the fastest valid lap still for Elite Cassie. Then we have Martin already 7 seconds behind. That is insane. And then Rad Eilish 2 seconds behind. We just had 2 drivers quit right now. Wi-Fi 2 seconds behind Rad. And Devilish Peanut 3 seconds, 3.6. Elliot is 7th, 1.1 second behind Specialist. And Sepa must have had some sort of issue because he was higher up. And now he's back to 9th, so either he crashed against someone, which we didn't see, or something else, or he just messed up by himself. Of course, that's also an option. But he just marked the fastest lap, and I'm very curious to see how much that was with clean air. Let's see if we get there. 129.8. Still can do better, and I'm sure he will. So yeah, let's what happened? What happened with, oh my god, where did he go? Was that a disconnect? Oh, I hope it wasn't. So we had Cass fighting with Jacob, and he just disconnected. That's messed up. So obviously we're gonna focus again on Sepa because yeah, we had Wardog reconnect or Green Reaper. Someone just reconnected Wardog, I guess. Yeah, some connection issues, I guess. So Sepa is probably the one who's gonna give us the biggest show right now again. So I'll be back in 5 minutes. I need to eat something. Alright, I'm back, and apparently you have been seeing quite a good show from Sepa. He managed to get on 6th, now 5th apparently. I don't know if that was another disconnect or what, but he's overtaken at least 4 drivers, and they're very close together, sorry. They're very close together, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Or an 8th rather. So actually we're gonna take this opportunity to ping into the camera of Dick Trickle. Accurate, he's in between Devil Spinet and Elliot Bufossi. Elliot was back, now trying to chase Devil Spinet.
Yellow flag in
Second
sector
is
2.
a 132, Devil Spinet at 135, and the rest are 134 and 5. That's pretty bad, something must have happened. That's hardly the pace this guy should be showing today. But anyway, let's move into Rad's camera. He's a bit isolated in his current position. He is 4th. His best lap being 131.2 and not too far from it in the last one. His predicted lap is actually to improve his best lap. Then what we can see, he has a very nice rig. I think that wheel might be the Logitech Pro. It's quite nice here. He's having issues in sector 2. He's not able to improve his own lap there, and actually not even match his previous pad. And looking at, if I'm not mistaken, that's 6 out of 8 and 8 out of 8 DC, so that's a lot of traction control. There's probably some performance left there on the table. On a front engine car, it's not something that you totally need, I would think. So,
Falling behind to the car in
but
front in sector
interestingly,
3.
he's with 3 track cuts already. So very likely that in the second part of the race we're gonna see a few drive-throughs. Anyway, let's move on to Chad. Let's see how Chad is doing on his Porsche. Ooh, that's a bit glitchy. I don't know if it's this one, but yeah, that sound is glitchy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it off. Yeah, Chad is now 10th, and being consistent, right? His fastest lap is 132, that's pretty much what he's doing. And he's running very low traction control, that's much more aggressive. And I guess he adapts his style to traction control rather than the other way around. I will talk with him later, because I mean, not that I think that I'm better or anything, but he clearly is not aggressive enough. You see, he goes through that chicane, and it's not only that chicane, super safely. And that might be either because he doesn't know that he can cut much more, like this one. This is a chicane that you can totally cut, like he did in the exit. And he's leaving time there on the table. Assume that last bit was rather a mistake, other than, you know, doing it on purpose. And in this one, you brake on 100, you cut in, yeah, you touch the curve. And let's see where he brakes on the last one. I'm not sure exactly the sector 3 is the one where he's slower, but let's see where he brakes in here. Yeah, he brakes a bit too early, so that means he comes in here. But yeah, he traced it very well. Probably he just can carry a bit more speed, but that's about it. There is nothing wrong other than that. I think we missed the first 2 corners here. So here you need to touch the interior. He does. Go on the throttle. He did. He's improving his lap a little bit. It's this period. This is the one he doesn't get. You need to touch in a bit closer in there. And now he touches the outside, which is fine, but not as intended. And I think this was the other one where he's leaving 1 second. This one, you can go... Well, now he did it better than what I was seeing before, so... Must be something else. I mean, on top of that, this chicane for sure, he needs to cut more. Although he's running the Porsche, so it's not like I'm gonna give advice about how to run the Porsche. It's a quite complicated car. So anyway, let's go back to the boys. Let's see Trickle before we go into the game. And Trickle still 7th with Elliot behind and Devilish ahead. And Sepa already put 7 seconds between them both. So back to the game. We are looking at Sepa, and he has read. Oh, Martin is pitting, so now the times are gonna go a bit crazy. But he managed a 1:21.9. It's pretty much in line with his fastest lap, minding that everyone is running with a full deposit, or not full, but you know, enough to reach the end of the race. And he's still improving his fastest lap. Let's see the differences between how he does the laps compared to, for instance, what we saw before with Chad. Well, that was not that good. Well, it was an aggressive example, to be honest. Let's see it from here. You see, he cuts much more on the first and on the second, minding that probably was not track limits, even though it might look like, which is one of the keys with this track. He uses all the curb on the outside of that one. He will probably break a bit later than 100, that's right. Touches in on the apex, and now he's already putting his eyes on red. And it's on his way to do the fastest lap again. Sorry for my nose. I don't know, I might be getting a bit sick. And Red gets out of the way. Very well done there. So Red goes a bit early, I think. We are still not in minute 30. And a couple of the top guys already pitted. So the distance between Sepa and Jacob is 25 seconds. And his pace is not that much better than Jacob to be able to close it. But I think Wi-Fi is probably... Ooh. He was careful. Alright, well done there. So Wi-Fi is probably gonna be caught by Sepa, and I would be maybe not crazy enough to say that this is gonna happen. Well, maybe not before they pit. Yeah, I guess not before they pit, but we'll see. Anyway, as you know, in ACC, the distances that you see on the left, they are fluctuating all the time. So they're not particularly reliable, but yeah, I think we're gonna go into, once we see one more lap on how Sepa does this track, which I think we already seen one lap. We're gonna go into Jacob. Oh man, please don't crash. Alright. We're gonna go into Jacob and see how he does it. He actually had a bad lap right now. Well, let's see how we get to it. What happened, Dutch? You crashed in there, mate. Oh, that is a close fight that is going on there between Martin and Peseta, but Peseta didn't pit, so let's see if we catch them. That's Peseta there. Martin on the bottom left, we don't see it. We see it in the right there. Question is when he's gonna attack, and Peseta goes wide, and probably is not gonna... Ooh, neither did Martin. I think Martin didn't have enough grip in there as well to catch him. Anyway, let's see if we find... Yeah, there we go with... Can I actually find number 1? Oh, what happened? We just missed it. We were looking at them, and we missed it. Oh, flashing. That must be Martin complaining about something. Come on, Martin, cut it out. I think I'm gonna... Now, if I remove the labels... Martin! The lights... He's pissed off because he's faster, and already without pitting, he's overtaking him. Without pitting Peseta, I mean. Anyway, is it worth staying here and see what happens? Probably there are not that many other close fights out there. So we'll stay here, so I'm gonna change the camera to TV. Right behind we can see Wardog and Railish. Railish is fighting for position with Martin. He's not that far off. Oof, going into the interior there. Very well done, Martin. Oh, you gotta love this. Cut the crap with the flashlights already, Martin. Oh man, too bad we cannot put in the rules that that's not allowed. Oof, they touch each other, but that's gonna be Martin's chance to stay ahead. And he does. And he does. Now, we'll see what's his pace and whether Rad Raelish will be able to catch him. So, let me go into general view to see if there is anything worth looking into right now. Especially it's quite long, the trickle quite long, but you know this is wrong, right? So Jacob just pitted, that's the leader pitting. Hamilton is pitting right behind him. Wi-Fi then is leading the race and Salient is there, very well done. A Ferrari leading the race, how about that? Obviously it's because he didn't pit yet, but I'm happy to see that. And Sepa is just 7 seconds behind. You remember we said before we're gonna how long was it gonna take him to get there, and it was only 8 seconds, so it didn't change that much. And he's now gonna have to overtake Salient, who's blue flag, right? His lap. Oh, so Sepa decides not to waste time there. With 6.3, he was already cutting another second from him. And number 44 gets a stop and go for pit limits. That's so unfortunate. At the same time as Wi-Fi also goes into the pits. So the positions will be maintained, and it will be a position on a fight on the track, which is what we love to see when we're streaming these things. Now, in the meantime, Dreid Trickle also goes into the pits. Specialist is therefore gonna be leading, if I'm not mistaken. Although again, you know, how much you can trust how that looks like. But I think he's leading. Good for him. And Elliot is also gonna go pit. So most of people pit right 1 lap after the half an hour, which is what most people normally does anyway. So what's going on here? Elite actually, after that disconnect, decided to rejoin and try to catch those points for finishing, I would assume 15th if nothing else happens, which, you know, are valuable, because I was doing today the update on SimCrit and removing the points from those that did not meet the 75% criteria and marking them as did not finish. And Elite is, you know, dedicated. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm sad that, you know, online games still have issues with disconnects 2023. But who knows, maybe it's not so much the game as it could be the individual connection of the driver. So 30 seconds still applying for Hewitt Hamilton because he didn't go in there. And now we need to put our attention to Sepa, who came out of the pits on 5th? 7th? Ooh, Peseta again fighting with someone. With Rad Raelish now, so Martin overtook them. But how could it be that Wi-Fi is 3rd and Sepa is 7th? I guess Sepa had crashed and he fixed it. That must be it. So he's very confident. So hold on a sec. He was faster than everyone else with the fastest lap and decided still to fix. He had one chance of catching on Jacob. It was without fixing. Ah, look at that. That's beautiful. 3 wide there almost. Peseta goes wide. Oh, freaking camera. What the hell? The game sometimes is unnerving. That's from Peseta's point of view. He's in between Rad Raelish and Sepa, and I think that's better traction from Sepa. It's gonna go on the inside of turn 1, and that's easily the best and probably only place to overtake if you are brave enough. And Peseta actually, he could have gone for the in and out, but anyway, couldn't traction well enough that I assume. So now we go to Sepa, which this ship doesn't update well, clearly. Now he's on the hunt of Rad Raelish, so we're gonna go and check how Rad is doing. under the pressure of the fastest guy in the track. And with 3 track limits. Track limit work. Ooh, no!
God,
Dude, are you kidding me?
No! Fuck me, we saw that live. Yeah, don't worry. Maybe we saw that live. I was not looking at the mirror, but that was messed up. And the question is now, is he ahead or is he behind? That's gonna be most likely a penalty because you cannot really do that, can you? Anyway, shit. Next, Dick is on 7th. He's gonna now get on the handle, right? Very noisy. His tires don't have the right pressure. I don't know if it's because he just came out of the pits or he just messed up. Could be that he messed up. But those tires are leaving 1 second on the table. Nice tracing there. Good T1. A bit too wide T2. Now let's see the T4. Too slow. That you can easily go faster in there. You trace a bit better. But well done. He's improving his own lap. Let's take a look at Chad. How are you doing, mate? There he is, getting into 131s, improving substantially this lap. He's on perfect tire pressure. That's what I like to see. Some OCD buddy in here. Yeah. Let's see if he manages to look at his lap. Yes, that's exactly right. That's more aggressive. Still not going over the bumps, but again with force maybe you shouldn't. But that was a good chicane. That's where. Okay, that was better than what I was looking at you before. Well done. Ah, that was slow traction there. That was slow traction. He lost at least 3 tenths. Acceptable, although obviously Captain Sam, you're not gonna try to do the same. Alright. Well done, well done. You see you have at least another half second, Chad. Well done. Moving on, we are gonna go back to the race to see how things are going. Seppa clearly continued after ramming Relish. The question is whether he has any damage whatsoever, because Rad clearly did. Right? So, yeah. Anyway, the only guy that didn't pit so far is Peseta and obviously Elite Cassie. Right, so let's see how things are from the top. We have Jacob, Wi-Fi, 11 seconds behind, then Martin 5 seconds behind Wi-Fi, not too far off. The question is who's faster, and we'll check it in a minute. And then we have Seppa, who is around 15 seconds behind Martin, I think. We'll see when he crosses the lap. 11. Alright, 11 seconds. And then we have Rad, who's... Is it closing in? It's closing in. That's gonna be interesting. There's some revenge mood in there, yeah? And then the rest... quite apart. I think we have potentially a fight between Specialist and Devilish Tina. Yeah, he's getting closer, so while the guys on top give us another fight worth looking at, we're gonna try to focus again on Specialist and Devilish Pina. This is very annoying, guys. There we go. Specialist. Camera, TV. Let's see the chase. Now down to 1.4. Oh, so the last lap was very bad, but he's able to go quite fast. I mean, faster. Oof, woohoo! That was scary. He lost half a second there, at least. Going into the next one. A bit wide. Yeah, that 0.8 he lost, 0.9 now versus his fastest lap is that second that Devilish Peanut is pulling away. Okay, right. In the meantime, looking at the map, we see that number 1 is overtaking number 240, which I guess saw blue flags. It's now 1.5, so he got half a second in the last sector. He's now improving his own lap. That's very good. Look at that. So you have a low 30s there if you keep applying yourself. And that just shows so fast straight away when you are chasing someone mid-grid that is substantially slower, right? 0.7, 0.6. Let's see what part of the track he chooses to do that overtaking. If he's patient, he will wait for T1. But when you are driving behind the wheel, you cannot ask yourself for patience. That's not how it works. But it's clear now he reached out to him. Doesn't feel like he can go any faster. That's why he lost the pace or the improvement that he had. And now they are overtaking Wardo, who's lapped. Ooh, that was close, Specialist. And that's gonna make them both lose time. The question is, who more? But no, well done, Wardo, well done. He moved aside and let Specialist and Devilish Peanut continue with their own fight. Reaching last turn. And this is the one where if Specialist was close enough, he could try to attempt the overtake, but he's not. So we know in Sector 1 he's faster, and he's gonna get close again. You see? Actually, with all things considered, he marked his fastest lap in the last lap. But yeah, 0.5, 0.4, 0.5, 0.4 again, getting there. Now we have the first chicane. Well, next turn, and then the chicane. What, is he going very low or what? That's a Lexus. Is that even possible with a Lexus? Anyway, first chicane. This is where I lose most of the time when I drive myself. Even if... Oh, no, man! Alright. Lost a second or two, so we're gonna get back to him when he gets close again later. So what do we have now? Oh, Seppa pulling away from Brad. And catching in on Martin. 5 seconds behind only, so that's probably gonna be the next fight that we're able to see. On top, I'm curious about last laps and best laps of Jacob and Wi-Fi, so let's try to take a look at that. Seppa with 129.5, his last lap was quite slow. Wi-Fi is on 129.6 of best, after the pit stop anyway, and 1.3 high, 130s, on the last one. And Jacob... he actually didn't break the 129. That's very interesting. He's just very consistent, which is what this is about, to be honest. No, there is no point on being 2/10 faster if you cannot keep that consistently throughout the race. And I tell myself that very, very often because I drive a Ferrari, which is pain in the ass to run through some tracks. And you feel like you need to go in the absolute limit to get the most out of the car. So very rarely I have that feeling of full control over the car, that you know you're not gonna spin and that you know what racing line you need to go through to have a comfortable and good pace. And I think about it like, if I were to go a bit slower, or if I were to crank up the traction control 1 point higher, which, you know, in the kind of setup that I ran, makes a big difference. Maybe I would be 2/10 slower, but I wouldn't mess up. And needless to say, I mess up very often, so... That's what I'm saying. I think Jacob will win this race because of consistency. Wi-Fi is getting closer, so there's still 15 minutes left, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough unless he obviously keeps doing laps of 131.9. So something Jacob did there that I didn't catch that messed up. He's now going to have to overtake Lewis Hamilton. Man, you're making me very thirsty with your name. But he moved away, so that went well. Now I'm gonna try to go back to general view. See, Seppa is now 4.3 behind Martin, probably slightly closer. So that was last time we checked. That's 1, 2, yeah, more like a 3. More like a 3 than a 4. So there's gonna be a fight there coming soon. And yeah, you see 3.7. And Devilish Peanut, I can't remember, was he trailing Dick Trickle or was the other way around? I don't remember. Anyway, 2.4, that's the second closest fight that we have now. And the one that we were looking at before, that someone lost control. Again, such a shitty memory. I apologize, but I think one of them left. We see a lot of dust there, so something might have happened. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Oh, yeah, Cass left. Okay, so that's the one missing down there. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, 29 laps. Roughly 30 minutes to go. That's about to be 10 more laps for the lead. Wi-Fi 7.9, closer and closer, but probably not enough. And Seppa, who's most likely gonna get a penalty, I think. It's still gonna try to do the best out of it. And to be fair, if you look at the consequence of the incident we saw, probably was something between 5 and 10 seconds for Dick. Now, it might incur into driver penalty points, that's something else. But in terms of the impact on the race, it was not really... Oh my god, what did Martin did? He lost 2 seconds on the last lap? We specialists had an issue. I guess that's the one that we were looking at before, yeah. Seppa and Martin, where is Martin? Give me Martin. So, yeah, he lost 1.5 seconds in the last lap. And maybe Seppa did absolutely fantastic. Who knows? Number 4, there we go. Yeah, another 1:29. So yeah, that's where the 2 seconds came. And I guess in situations like that, unless someone messes up, it's just gonna be easy. And actually, he let them through. What? He didn't want any issue. You know, it's important to note that in Xbox the guys are all in the chat. Anyway, most of them, and they actually comment when something happens, which in PC you can't, so you cannot really warn about what someone else did, right? And I think in this case probably that is the case. But look at the lap that Seppa is gonna put through. That's gonna be a 1:28 in the race, and I don't remember what the pole position was, but it was not that far off from that. So 129.5, what happened to you in the last turn? I was looking elsewhere. Holy moly. He was improving 1 second of the 29, and that was better than the pole position for sure. So I don't know what happened. Let's see if he manages there again. He's on track to do that, and that's probably the most entertaining thing we can do now. Maybe let's change the camera so that we see how he traces the turns. That's it. You see, that's what I was pointing out earlier regarding the other two guys we looked at judging their laps. That was the fair amount of curve in each of the turns. And here you go a lot on the inside. That was very slow, though. But anyway, well traced. He lost 2 or 3 tenths there. Perfectly used all the width of the track and all the curves. Now he brakes substantially later than the 100, but firmly. And what are you gonna do 1.6? But it cannot be 1.6 versus 1.29. Must be the best after the pit stop or something. Anyway, let's see. 1.7. A bit too much in there, but still good enough to improve. And what is it gonna be? Yeah, 1.9, exactly, 1.29.4. It couldn't be 1.28.5 or anything like that, because that's unreal in these levels anyway. So looks like he's not gonna be fast enough. I mean, he's fast enough, but not gonna have enough room to catch Wi-Fi. Gonna take a look at Wi-Fi's lap times though. He's on 130s. So with 129.5, 1 second and a half in best case, let's say 1 second average per lap faster Seppa than Wi-Fi, that would give you in around 6 laps left. Would give you 6 seconds, and he's 13 seconds behind. So the question is more gonna be: is Wi-Fi gonna catch Jacob? What happened there? Let's go to Jacob. But if he's on 130s consistently, and Wi-Fi, okay, he lost a couple of tenths there, and Wi-Fi is. Okay, that's where you lose your chance of winning. You lost 1.2 seconds there. Anyway, not that Seppa is gonna catch you, but Seppa just marked another 129, didn't he? I checked the live stream Discord to see if there is anyone else that placed their link in here, but no. Check in the past, maybe big Infidel. Infidel is not right racing, is it? No. Weird. And red really red, big red, big. Think no one else. Ah, M. Martin was somewhere there. M. Martin Racing. Maybe I can find him. Let's take a look.
I'll just go boop, and I'll just place it down. So try to stay.
Yeah, there he is. How come he didn't come up? Is he not streaming today? Yeah, he's not streaming today. Oh, okay. So, anyone else? Obviously done. No, that's Ken Chicken. But is Ken Chicken around? I don't think so anymore either. Ken Chicken 22. Yeah, all these people, I don't know what they do with their lives, why they don't return. Shit, I'm gonna give him a follow. Maybe that wakes him up. Oh my god, Wi-Fi! Are you gonna make it easier for both Jacob and Seppa? What the hell, man? Honor the Ferrari. Anyway, since probably this is not gonna change, I'm gonna pay a visit to the guy streaming. So Let's see how Tick is doing. He's on 6th position. 7 seconds behind Brad, which we are gonna check in a sec. You see the pressures? They
Yellow
didn't
flag
put
is sector
next
2.
to that. And I think that's sort of what's happening. He didn't manage to improve probably his best lap on the first end, you know, with more fuel back then.
Slow car ahead.
Slow car ahead, we have
Yellow flag.
yellow flag, yellow flag. That's dusty. Anyway, let's go check on Red. Is he still upset? I bet he is. He's 5th though. And the question is whether he's ahead of Rick, so I'm sure he would have lost the position anyway. It doesn't mean that he shouldn't be upset or report what happened. But yeah, still a good position for him. Yeah. And then let's check on our boy Chad. He didn't manage to close the 130 that he had eventually. Even with his perfect pressures, ideal fuel. Yeah. Alright, let's see how things are going back on track. We feel 3rd. Ah, look at that! We missed it! Holy moly! Must have fucked up and we missed. No, we didn't. No. It's just the game messing with us. But there it is. We didn't miss it. We messed up 7 seconds of advantage with Seppa in the last lap. And that's because of not enough traction control, mate. That's why. And there you go, Seppa going on for the 2nd position in a race in which he started first, had some sort of issue in the first laps. I don't know, in the first lap, I don't know exactly what happened. Not only because it's hard to put the helicopter camera that I don't know how to in Xbox, but also because it's dark and hard to distinguish who's who. And he's on here after a couple of incidents, because I'm sure I've seen one, but I think there was another one where he was 5th and dropped back to 9th or something like that in the first stint. And look at Seppa already put 4 seconds distance between them both. Well done. And Jacob having the easiest race of his life, I'm sure. 131's average 130. Managed to stay up front, out of trouble. Gonna win the race. Now, Martin, for some reason the game doesn't want to ping in order. Rad Relish, still way ahead of Trickle. Trickle, comfortable distance with Devilish Peanut. There we go, the 4th. Thank you. Oh, stop and go for Wi-Fi? For track limits? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, he's gonna lose the position to Martin. And maybe the Rad Relish. I don't know if the guys are talking about this. I'm gonna unmute the chat. Let's see if they're saying anything.
Wait, Weezy's got a 30-second stop count?
Two windows closed.
Yeah, but you can still serve a penalty.
Oh, you
I think 130 seconds.
Ooh, ouch.
I'm not sure about that. I think that's definitely the penalty for not pitting.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh! This track is my little fucking me.
Well, the guy's having fun there, huh? We saw how Wi-Fi is gonna totally lose 1 or 2 positions for sure. Due to that stop and go. Happened to me. What can I say? It sucks. And well, before this, let's change the camera. Ooh, silly. And also Lewis Hamilton, no, Lewis Hamilton got another also drive-through. But if you don't serve a drive-through, it's 30 seconds, so it's less of an issue. And we are seeing him now serving it. Let's see what that turns into. Now we know Rat Rayleigh is for sure is going to overtake him. There we see him going through the straight. Okay, there you go, overtaken. Then Dick Trickle as well, Devilish Peanut as well, and Elliot as well. Then, and Elliot as well. Yeah, that's gonna be it if I'm not mistaken. And I think it will not update until Wi-Fi gets out of here. And there he goes. And wait that he doesn't get drive-through for speeding. Or it's actually not a drive-through, it's worse. Okay, all cool, clear.
The leader has finished the race.
Jacob just finished the race. We missed it because we're looking at what's happening there. Zeppa is also gonna finish. Wardog therefore also finishes the race. Martin still has the last 2 turns to do. Rad Relish has a full sector, and as we said, even Chad overtook Wi-Fi. That is heartbreaking, guys. But that is the game. You play with the track limits, or you play with, you know, speeding in the pit lane, which I don't think is the case. I think it was track limits. And then you know, that you get that shit. The problem with Wi-Fi is that I don't think he cut the track. I think it was going off track that he probably got the penalty. Who knows? I was not exactly looking at it at that very same moment. So Rad finishes the race on 4th position. I think a good result for him at the end. 23 seconds behind Jacob, which is 12 seconds behind Seppa. I think probably the best case scenario for him would be a 10-second penalty for Seppa, and that would still not place him ahead of him, but might give Martin the 2nd position. I'm not the steward, so I'm not gonna judge that. Trickle just finished in 5th, Devilish Peanut in 6th, Elliot Tifosi on 7th, and Chad Lee, my boy, on 8th. I think that's probably his best result, right? Anyway, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, even though it's on the stream, so that I can go and upload the results now with Chad. It's been a pleasure, guys. I think I'm gonna connect to the chat just for 1 sec to see what the boys say.
Well done.
Fun racing though, boys. We'll do it again next week.
Yep.
That
was fun.
Make sure everybody.
Good luck,
Thanks for
everybody.
having me.
I'm gonna
I
go
was
as many
muted the whole
reports
time.
as possible.
Yeah, I'm
Make
gonna be
my life
supporting a lot
busy,
today.
please.
Oh yeah,
Time
you
to
see,
make bread.
you're gonna hate me pretty soon.
Well done, boys. Good race.
Everyone, great job. Great job, everybody. That was a great race, man. Good job, everybody. It was really clean.
Did we get the
Everybody.
screenshot? Yeah. Are we free to leave?
Yeah,
Don't
worry, it's recorded
on
on the live stream, so it's fine.
Okay. Perfect.
Very good.
All right, guys.
Good night.
We'll report stuff.
Hey, Rap, did you want to message me on Discord? Or
Yeah, I called you and we chat.
Okay.
Cheers.
Did you follow camera?
And we are gonna stop it here. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. See you soon.